And in our CCTV America studio by Darragi. Sir, thank you so much for being on the program. He's the Deputy Chief of Mission at the Tunisian Embassy here in Washington, D.C. First of all, our condolences to you for what happened today. What can you tell us about the suspects and the investigation at this point? There were some conflicting reports. Some of the gunmen have been killed. Some are still at large. What can you tell us?
It might be too early to speculate on the affiliation of the suspects, but what is a fact now is that two gunmen have been killed. There might be some suspects who might have provided logistical support, and the police forces are chasing them. And the investigation is taking its course, and we hope to reveal all the facts in the near future.
Are you surprised by what happened today? After all, Tunisia is known as a beacon of stability in the region, has not had terror attacks in recent years.
It's not totally surprising. That's the price that we have to pay for being a beacon of democracy. You know, when the Tunisians have opted for democracy, for freedom, for a modernist constitution, for an inclusive political system, it's inevitable to leave some people who don't believe in the system, who do not fit in the democratic processes, to leave them on the margins. In case of despair, they have only this weapon to raise against Tunisians.
What was the security apparatus at the museum and next door at the parliament? Could this attack have been prevented?
There's always room for improvement. I mean, the security forces have played a major role. There might be some shortcomings, but they have acted responsibly and in a prompt way. Don't forget that the attack started around 12:20, and it came to an end at 3:30. And this is a hostage crisis. It took quite a short time, and the security forces have responded properly and have limited the casualties, although we are very sorry, and our thoughts and prayers go to the families of the victims and their loved ones. Every human life is precious, and unfortunately, this is the price we have to pay for democratic choices.
Mr. Darragi, what kind of changes do you expect to see in Tunis after this attack? Do you expect to see stepped up security? What kind of visible changes will residents perhaps there notice?
I think that considering the reactions that we have had today in Tunisia, there might be two developments. The first is reinforcing security and taking action more rigorously against these kind of groups and trying to prevent such acts again. The second is we have seen an impressive show of solidarity in Tunisia today, a united nation, united voice, and that will reinforce further Tunisia's determination to make its success story a real promise for the region. We are going to fulfill Tunisia's promise. We are doing that, and we'll continue to that. These acts reinforce further our determination.
You know, there are critics that say that perhaps the government was too heavy-handed in dealing with Islamic groups, especially along the border with Algeria, and this may be the result of that. What would you tell those critics?
Heavy-handed against terrorists?
Yes, some might say that perhaps...
These are terrorists that are hiding out in mountains and are attacking Tunisian security forces and Tunisian citizens from time to time. When they can afford that, they do it relentlessly. And the security forces are fighting against them. When it is a question of military force, we use it. When it is a question of the rule of law, we use it.
It's about protecting Tunisia, is what you're saying.
It's about protecting Tunisia, protecting Tunisians, protecting our visitors, and protecting the Tunisian revolution and the Tunisian promise.
Darragi, sir, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.